welcome to another Cheeky Girl Creations video. So today I will be working in my paper towel journal, and this journal was created sticking paper towels together, then folding that in half to make the pages, and then bind it quite simply. So I'll be working on this double spread today. And all those videos will be linked in an iCard in the top right hand corner if you want to watch those previous processes. So yeah, I'll be creating on here, and I like to draw from the colours in the page. So I'll be using like reds, oranges, yellows, and maybe some like viridian or green or something like that. I will have this in fast forward mode, but I'll have a voiceover so you know what's going on. And yes, so let's get on with the video. So to start off the page, I'm going to add my paint. I'm going to go with red, medium yellow, and viridian. First I started off using my fingers, but then I actually decided I wanted to use a brush because like this page is so textured from all the paper towels laid up together that when you go over with your finger or a palette knife, it tends to just kind of pick up the texture and not really like blend into the page. And I wanted it to blend into the page more and be more of a flatter background instead of a really textured one. And you'll still be able to pick up the texture with the paint this way, but just the texture is a bit more muted, if that makes any sense. So I was going to go with orange, but then I decided to go with the yellow because yellow and red mixes and makes orange anyway. And I'm also going to go in with that viridian, and I'm being careful with the viridian because the red and the viridian can make mud. So you want to be careful when you're mixing kind of colors like that. And I wanted the background to be a little bit more blended. So I'm going over with some chalk primer again with my brush just to kind of blend those colors together and lighten the background. And that just makes it all look a bit more cohesive. And I'm going heavier in some areas and lighter in some areas with the chalk primer just to add a little bit of interest. And now I'm going to add some splats using my fan brush and some water. And I thought that just finished off the background really nicely. So I'm going through this encyclopedia/dictionary, which I've been using in a few of my previous videos. And I'm going through trying to pick which image. I do end up sticking with the blimp image. That was the first one I pulled out, and that tends to be the one I stick with anyway. Even if I look through for ages, I tend to always go back to the first one I picked. And now I'm just prepping this plain book paper strip with the same colors I used for the background, so like the green and the red. I was first using the spray inks, but then I went in with the paint. I felt as if the spray inks was just making it a bit light. So I stuck with the red ink, but then I went in with the yellow and the viridian paint. And that was looking a bit dark. So now I'm going to go in and push that back a little bit with my chalk primer, because remember, I am going to write on this because that's what my phrase is going to go on. And I've torn around that blimp image. So it will just have a really nice kind of rough edge to it. And I'm going to edge that again with the same kind of spray inks and the paints because I will be matting the image with some denim yarn, and it's just nice to have a few layers between that, so it's as if I've matted it on a colored paper as well, so that just adds a bit more interest. And that denim yarn, I can link a video to show you how I make my own like denim and jersey yarn in an iCard in the top right hand corner, and that's what I've been using to matte quite a few of my images and stuff in previous pages. It just adds a really nice look, especially the denim yarn with all those threads kind of hanging out. It just like is a really nice texture, and it's a nice feel to the page, and it adds a lot more interest to it. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want it to be matted, because on one side is darker than the other. I do stick with the darker sides. I'm just kind of roughing it up a little bit just to get more of those threads. And I will cut those to size because I didn't really want it hanging off the page. So I'll cut that to size, again, rough up those edges, and then I'll stick that down with tacky glue. Tacky glue is best for like when you're working with fabrics. If you don't have a fabric glue, that's a really good glue, especially on such a textured surface like this page. The tacky glue is perfect. And I kind of like move the denim yarn around so it would go on a kind of interesting wavy shape. I thought that looked quite cool. And now I'm going to write my phrase on this book paper strip that I prepared. I'm using a Sharpie marker, and I'm writing, is it a bird, is it a plane? I thought that would be quite cool with the blimp image, and I thought it just kind of came into my mind. I was like, that is perfect. So I'm going to cut that all out using my scissors. And again, I'll mat that with the denim yarn. But I do end up matting both the image and the phrases with some plain book paper first, and then stick it onto the denim yarn, and you'll see that in a little bit. And I'll use tacky glue to stick that all together. And I used the plain book paper just because I felt like it was like too much darkness next to each other. So that plain book paper just added a nice light element between the colored paper and the denim yarn. And I thought that just helped everything pop a little bit more. And I wanted to add some birds, but I thought that drawing it onto the page directly, it wouldn't stand out enough. So I went over some plain book paper again with the same inks and stuff, drew on it with my Sharpie pen, and I'm going to mat that just with denim yarn. I didn't need to map it out with any plain book paper. I thought it looked fine with the denim, especially since I didn't blend it so much on that strip of book paper. I just kind of splashed the color on and just kind of dabbed it with my finger. And now I'm going to stick all that down using my tacky glue. And sometimes you'll see me go over more than once and press quite firmly just because it does take a while to stick. Especially on such a textured surface, it always wants to peel up. So you can either put something heavy or just keep on pressing until it dries enough. I edged the image with my Stays On ink pad just before I stuck it down on the denim yarn, and I added some chalk primer with my fingers. Felt that denim just looked a little bit dark. So yeah, that's how I lighten it up. And I'm going to go around the edge of my page with my Stays On ink pad, just picking up all that yummy texture, and that'll ground the page as well. And then I'm going to go around my phrase with my Sharpie pen. That helps to just make it pop out a little bit with that detail. And I will then go over the page with some chalk primer just to lighten things up a little bit and help pick up some of that texture. And I will add highlights with my Uniball signals. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, click that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video, which is every Monday. And I am out of the country at the moment, so check out that newsletter link below to find out why, and you can subscribe so you know when I'll be back in the country. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you join me again for another arty video. Bye!